If you've been spending a bit of time watching fitness influencers on YouTube, you would have noticed that almost every time, all of them push training at least 5 to 6 days a week. Now, the biggest issue with this is that a lot of these people are actually enhanced. So a lot of them are actually taking anabolic steroids. And for 99% of the audience, which I'm assuming is you as well, you're actually a natural. You're a natural body lifter, you're not enhanced in any way, and you're not taking steroids. So this advice doesn't actually correlate into 99% of the audience. You can only really train this much and have this much volume if you're enhanced, which is going to significantly improve your recovery. So the first reason why training 6 days a week doesn't work is because you haven't given your body anywhere near enough time to actually fully recover. So what happens is you start to actually build up fatigue from previous workouts, and your body's still fatigued, still recovered, you're going to be sore, and you're going to have less energy when you go back into the next workout tomorrow and then the day after. So what happens is this is actually going to severely hinder your ability to continually hit PRs and continually build muscle and increase the amount of mechanical tension your muscles are under. So for example, if you were a professional sprinter and you were training for the Olympics and the day before you were sprinting flat out and you were becoming really tired, you were building up a lot of fatigue, you were putting a lot of additional stress on your nervous system. What your coaches would probably tell you is that you need to actually slow down and you need to actually stop. Because when you're working out the next day, when you're racing the next day, the best way that you can actually perform to the best of your abilities is to make sure that your body's actually fully recovered and you're not sore and you're not carrying over any excess fatigue from the day before. So this is exactly how bodybuilding works. Your body needs 72 hours to recover on each muscle group. And so if you're continually working out almost every single day, what happens is you're just overloading fatigue. You're bringing this over, even if you're training different muscle groups, you're bringing this over to your next workout. And your ability to just accumulate productive workout routines in a row and string them together is just severely hindered. So the alternative to this, and this is a routine which I've been implementing recently, and it's made a huge impact on me. I've been able to hit PRs consistently. I've been able to increase my strength massively, and it's just really helped with my muscle growth. It's just to cut down the amount of workouts you're doing a week to 3 days per week. So I found that if you're a natural bodybuilder, then training 3 days a week is actually where you tend to max out. This is because if you're training anything more than this, like I said before, your body's not going to be able to recover properly. You can't increase your strength. And so if you just narrow this down to 3 days a week, you're going to give your body enough time to fully recover, to fully rebuild that muscle. And so each time when you're hitting the gym and when you're building each muscle group, not only do you have more energy, but also you've given your muscles more than enough time to actually fully recover and recuperate. Now this is massive for progressive overload and increasing your strength. So the number one factor to get stronger in the gym is to increase your strength. By increasing your strength, you're increasing the amount of mechanical tension that your muscles are under. This is going to lead to more stimulus and it's going to lead to more muscle growth. So if you're not improving your strength, you're not making any gains. It's actually that simple. So if you just cut back your workouts per week to just 3 days per week, do 2 upper body sessions and 1 lower body session, you're specifically tailoring your workouts to specifically hit PRs each and every time you go to the gym, which is therefore going to give you that consistent muscle growth. And it's going to pay back on the work that you do. One final question which you can ask yourself is, who do you think is more likely to hit the PR? Do you think it's someone who's going to the gym 6 days a week, hasn't recovered, is tired when they go into the gym, is lacking energy, is feeling a little bit lethargic because their body hasn't recovered properly? Or do you think it's that person that actually hits weights less, puts their body under less stress, and just leaves enough time to fully recover before they go back into the gym, so that each and every time they hit the gym, they're fully recovered? It's obviously going to be the second person. So muscle growth works like sandpaper. If you're rubbing sandpaper on your hand, if you actually leave it and let your hand fully recover and for the skin to fully regenerate, what's going to happen is it's going to grow back a little bit denser and a little bit stronger. And then the next time you go to rub your hand again, it's going to be harder to continually create that tear. This is the exact same with muscle building. So if you don't wait long enough, it's just the equivalent to just rubbing sandpaper on your hand when the skin hasn't regenerated. You're just going to continually get weaker and you're not going to put on more strength. So this is why I highly recommend just working out 3 days a week. The split that I've been doing is one upper body on Monday, lower body on Wednesday, and then upper body on Friday. This is perfect because it hits your upper body 2 times a week, which has been proven to be the most effective for muscle growth. And if you only hit your legs once a week, your legs aren't going to overshadow your upper body, and your ability to actually build strength in your upper body is going to be enhanced as well. So try this out in the gym if you're currently in a plateau, or if you're overtraining, training 5-6 days a week, and you'll notice that you're going to put on a lot more muscle, and your strength gains, your ability to hit PRs, is going to massively improve. One final point to mention is that if you do this, you're going to find that it's so much more fun to train. You're going to find that it's actually a lot more enjoyable, and going to the gym is something which you look forward to. So I've found personally that when I go to the gym 5-6 days a week, I start dreading training. I don't want to go. I've got less energy levels. I feel more stiff, more lethargic. Whereas on the other hand, once you cut this down to 3 days a week, it actually becomes a privilege to train, and it's something that you really look forward to. And when you're there, it just becomes so much more enjoyable. So this is another point to keep in mind. If you want to keep it up sustainably over a long period of time and continually build muscle, you need to be building a system which you actually enjoy and can stick to.